What's going on, y'all? My name is Nathan Cooper, and in this video I'm going to show you some tools that you can use to train your own machine learning model for $0. Let's get to it. So Google Colab is a Jupyter-like environment. As you can see, it's very similar to Jupyter Notebooks because it's built off of them. And so you have things like text that you can also include with the actual code that you write. Additionally, Colab gives you access to GPUs and TPUs to train your machine learning models on. If you want to use either one of these, besides just a regular CPU, you can go to this runtime dropdown, go to change runtime, and then you can select from here either a GPU or a TPU to train on. Additionally, in this Welcome to Colaboratory, there's a bunch of different resources for getting started with Colab, and as well as using Colab to train machine learning models. So I definitely recommend you check it out. So why is it important to have a GPU or a TPU for training machine learning models? Why can't I just use a CPU? Well, CPUs are good on a lot of things. They're great at running everyday apps that perform a lot of different tasks since they're built to do that. However, they weren't built to run the same sort of task a bunch of different times in parallel. That's where GPUs come in. GPUs are specialized for parallel processing, and they're able to do parallel processing so well because they only perform the same task as all of the parallel processes are performing. And this makes them great for being able to train machine learning networks, because all machine learning is doing is performing the exact same task over and over and over again in order to train the model. Originally, they were actually designed for 3D graphics, for doing things like games and stuff like that, not for machine learning. However, this idea of high parallelism and performing the exact same task is actually really useful for machine learning. However, since they weren't designed for it to begin with, they have a lot of extra stuff in them that doesn't really help for machine learning. That's where TPUs come in. So TPUs have all the same pros as GPUs, however, they're actually specifically designed for machine learning. But that's sort of where the pros stop. They can only really be used for machine learning type tasks since they're so heavily optimized for that. The tools for TPUs in the early days was very difficult to use. However, things have changed now, and a lot of tools now support using TPUs to train machine learning models. So let's talk about those now. There's two main frameworks for training machine learning models now, PyTorch and TensorFlow. Both of them support using TPUs as well as GPUs, and both of them are free to use and are open source. Now, I don't want to get into a flame war on which one's better and which one's worse. They're both good in their respective ways. I personally use PyTorch a lot more than TensorFlow for my research. That doesn't mean TensorFlow isn't as bad. Now, PyTorch is great by itself, but it's a little bit too low level for me. I like using a little bit higher abstraction layer for training and building machine learning models. So that's why I recommend either FastAI, which I would recommend for someone who's just getting started in machine learning, because it's a very simple API. There's multiple courses on it, and it's extremely easy to use. Now, if you want to go to bigger and more custom models, I would then recommend something like PyTorch Lightning. Both of these are just high-level APIs for PyTorch, and so anything that you can do in those, you can also do in PyTorch, but they give you some niceties where they have default settings, and they make it a lot easier to do training for either TPUs or GPUs, and also doing more advanced stuff like early stopping, validation, logging and stuff for your models and things like that. On the TensorFlow side, there's not too many other high-level APIs except for Keras, and so I definitely recommend checking out Keras. They have amazing examples on their website, keras.io, and so if you're wanting to get into TensorFlow, Keras is an amazing option. FastAI, PyTorch Lightning, and Keras are also free to use and are open sourced. Now that you have the resources to train a machine learning model for free, I challenge you to train your own model by going through some of the tutorials in my Google Colab notebook, which I linked below. If you do, leave a comment down below talking about your experience with it. I'd love to hear about it. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, leave a comment down below if you want to chat. And as always, if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and share this video out if you think other people might like it.